A very good morning to all my dear students. Welcome back to your EVS 1 class. So, as you know, we have already completed our fourth chapter. Yes, so from today onwards, we will start a part of doing revisions. Okay, as you know, only the fourth chapter will be included in your PT1 exam. Chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, and chapter 4. So, we have already completed our syllabus for PT1 exam. So now what we will do, in each of the classes we will be doing the revising of the key points of the chapter. Okay, and based upon that a question will be asked. Yes, some questions will be asked to you. You have to write the answers. Yes, you have to write the answers by yourself. That will be a part of your revision. Clear? So children, for that you have to start reading and learning the things. Yes, you have to start reading and learning the things. I have been speaking from day one. I've been saying from day one that you please go through the chapter, whichever chapter we are completing, we have completed. Yes, we have discussed all the things in the chapter. Yes, so it is now your call that you should read the chapter thoroughly. Yes, and you should also learn the things given in your workbook, in your books. Whatever things are important, you should go through that. Okay, so that it can help you to revise the chapter properly. Clear? So today we will be starting our fourth chapter. We will be starting the revising of the key points of our fourth chapter, that is your float, sinks and mixes, which we have recently completed in the previous class. Okay, so we will read the main points. What were the main points we have discussed in that chapter and what we came to know. Yes, what we came to know through these points about this chapter. Clear? The first one was the substance that floats, sink and mix in liquids. Yes, children, we came to know about different objects. Yes, different objects, different substances that mix in liquids, that float in liquid, or that sink in liquid. Yes or no? We have seen that some objects they don't mix properly with the liquid, but some objects they mix very properly with the liquid. Some objects they float on the liquid. Yes, they float on the liquid because of their lighter weight. Yes, and some objects they sink and settles at the bottom of the liquid because of their heavier weight. And we have seen the reason for those light and heavier weight was the density. Yes or no? So one by one we will just go through the key points. Yes, one by one we will just go through the key points. So please listen the things carefully. This will be a part of your revision. Yes, please listen the things carefully. Okay, we shall be starting with solute, solvent and solution. Yes, we have seen the activity. Yes, I have done one activity. I hope you remember that activity. Yes, I have mixed sugar and sand equally in 2 glasses of water, in different 2 glasses of water, and we have seen that how the sugar dissolved properly gave us a transparent liquid, transparent solution. Whereas the same when I dissolved in sand, then we found that the sand didn't dissolve. Yes, the sand didn't dissolve and it settles at the bottom. This gives you the this checks the solubility of the water, isn't it? What substances are soluble and what substances are not soluble. Yes, so we have seen that the sugar that get properly dissolved in water was our solute. Yes, and the water act as a solvent where the solute got dissolved, and the proper mixing of the solute and solvent together forms a solution. We have seen that one. Yes, and then we have also seen that some substances, something that dissolve properly in water or in any liquid, yes, in liquid, that is called your soluble, yes, and which doesn't dissolve, that is your insoluble. We have seen that one. So you can see here, take a disposable plastic glass, fill half of it with water, add a drop of blue ink or Nil, used at home to whiten clothes in it. What happens to the water in the plastic glass? Yes, we have seen when we put few drops of Nil in some amount of water, we have seen that Nil completely dissolves in water. Yes or no? It turns blue. The color of the water changes and it turns blue. That means what? It dissolves properly. Yes, okay, and it forms a solution. Okay, same thing, try a small piece of paper, put it in water. What happens? It remains near the surface. Stir the water. Does anything happen? No, it remains as it is. Paper doesn't dissolve in water. It floats on the surface. This is reason why paper boats also floats. Yes, in the very first day of the chapter I have discussed that one, why paper boat floats, because it is lighter in weight, yes, and it doesn't because of its density, yes, because of its less density, it has less density. For that reason it floats in the water. Whereas if you take the example of a chalk, as soon as you put the chalk inside, it neither get dissolves nor floats, but it sinks, because a chalk is it's having a higher density. Yes, okay. So that was the thing of solute, solvent, and the solution and the solubility. Clear? Next we have seen why water we call as an universal solvents, though there are many other solvents except water, but why water is a universal solvent? Because water has a capacity, and water can dissolve many substances. I have been saying that one, not all the substance but many of it, yes, but many of it, because you can see substance soluble in water may not be soluble in other liquids, yes, which can dissolve properly in water. Can you give me one example which can dissolve properly in water but not in other liquid? Think. Yes, oil. Yes or no? We have seen the activity of how sugar dissolves properly in water, but if you take that sugar to dissolve in oil, will it dissolve? No, it settles down at the bottom. For that reason we say that, because water has a capacity, yes, it has a capacity to dissolve some substances which doesn't dissolve in other liquids. Clear? For that reason we say water as an universal solvent. But we have also seen that excess adding of the solute also doesn't make the full solute to dissolve. Excess adding of the solute, when we add excess of the solute in a solvent, it doesn't make a solution, because at some point of time the dissolving of that solute will stop in the solvent, and we have seen the reason why. Because every solute and the solvent, it has its own molecules. Yes, when the molecules are fully packed up with each other, then the other amount of solute cannot be dissolved. Yes or no? We have seen that one. So for that reason we should have the quantity of solvent should be higher than the quantity of solute. Yes or no? And then only a proper amount of solute can dissolve in a proper amount of solvent. We have seen that one. Okay. And the last one was effect of heat on solubility. Same thing, same experiment. When we do adding of more and more solute in a solvent, when it stops dissolving, at that time what happens? If we put that solvent and the solute under high temperature, that is under either heating or burning, yes, then what happens? Immediately the molecule starts moving, it starts making up spaces, and for that reason more amount of undissolved solute starts dissolving in that. Yes or no? We have seen Yes, we have seen the example how the sugar solution, after adding an amount of sugar at one point of time, it stops to dissolve. But when we kept that solution under high temperature, on burning or on heating, yes, then we saw that immediately that solute start dissolving, because the solvent at that moment starts making up spaces so that the undissolved solute could be dissolved in it. Yes or no? So we have seen the effect of heat on solubility. Yes, so this was the main concepts of this chapter. Okay, the first one was the objects that float, sinks and mixes, and under which we got the solute, solvent and solution. Yes, the next was why water is called as a universal solvent. Yes, why water is called as a universal solvent. We have also seen other solvents, especially the petrol and kerosene, yes, which can dissolve the oil stains one. Yes, the oil stains, the things with which contains little amount of oil, yes, they cannot be dissolved in water. So for that we need other solvents like kerosene and petrol. We have seen that one. We have also seen the effect of heat on solubility, how on heating the solid reaction of how the things react, how the solute and the solvents react on heating. Yes or no? So these are the important points of this chapter. I hope this chapter is clear to you. So now what you will do, based on today's key points, what we have learned, what we have read, based on this key points, I have asked you one question. I will give one question to you, that is, summarize the concepts of solubility, floating and sinking with examples. You have to, today what we did, today we did the revision of the key points. That means we summarize the things. Yes or no? We summarize the things, the important things that is included in this chapter. So on today's summarization of the chapter, I have asked you this question: summarize the concepts of solubility, floating and sinking with examples. You know what you have to add? You have to add the concepts. Okay, don't give the definition. Definition is different. You have to add the concept, what you got, what you have learned in this chapter. What was the concept of solubility in this chapter? What was the concept of floating and sinking in this chapter? Along with examples, you have to provide these concepts along, we have to explain the concepts along with examples. Am I clear? I hope the question is clear to you. Yes, so you have to write this answer by yourself. Okay, you have to write this answer by yourself. I have explained you that you have to write the concept, not the definition. Don't write just the definition, what is solution, floating and sinking. I don't need the definition. You have to explain me the concept of, you have seen the whole chapter, you have read the whole chapter. Yes, you have known what was the concept present in this chapter. Yes or no? So you have to just write out that concept. Okay, so I hope you have understood the question. So please do your work and send back to me. I will be giving you the time and the date in the group. So please do send the work to me in time. Okay, so in the next class we will be doing one more chapter with key points, and some sort of questions will be there based on the key points, based on the chapter. So please go through the chapter. I'm repeating again and again, please go through the chapter, read the chapter properly. Clear? Thank you.